It is Thursday morning and I am once again starting this vlog on a walk. It has been a good morning thus far. I spent the morning working on a freelance project. Currently, my income is split fairly equally, 50% coming from freelance illustration and sketchnoting work, 50% from the educational materials and community that I've built over at the Verbal to Visual classroom, and soon here at Learn in Public as well. I spent the evening yesterday getting the sales page set up for that workbook. You can pre-order it now. The first version is going to come out in about a month, early February, and I'm really excited about how that is all coming together. And I thought I would share my process for doing freelancing work because I think it might be relevant for those interested in Learn in Public, because there are these three stages that I see for learning in public. The first stage is when you're initially just developing your skills, getting good at whatever skill it is you're working on. And after you do that for a while, you're going to reach a certain level of mastery. And this will probably happen sooner than you think. You'll reach this level where people will start to ask you how much you charge to do the thing that you do for them. And at that point, you can start doing freelance work. You can charge people to do whatever it is you do, provide a useful skill tool for someone else. What's challenging about that transition, especially at the very beginning, is that it can be very hard to know how much to charge for a thing, and then even just to know how to go about doing that work for someone else. So by defining your process, it also makes it easier to know how to charge. So here's what I do. I break the process down to 6 steps. For me, the first step is doing research, understanding what the person I'm working for wants, doing some background research on the industry, pulling together a set of maybe useful visual references. And then since I'm doing illustration sketchnoting work, step number 2 is pencil sketches. I do a bunch of rough pencil sketches, getting initial ideas down, not worrying about overall quality or fine-tuning anything. Then I send those pencil sketches to whoever it is I'm working with, and we have a conversation about what looks good, what doesn't, what needs adjusting. That feedback is really useful. It's nice to have multiple rounds of feedback in your process when you're working with someone else. So after that round of feedback, I then go and create the first digital draft. I go to pen, I scan in my images and do some digital adjusting in Adobe Illustrator, and then I have a first digital draft. Follow that up with another round of feedback. I send that digital draft to whoever I'm working with. We have another conversation, another round of feedback, and hopefully after that round of feedback, I know what to do, what needs adjusting. I can make those adjustments and then send over the final illustration that they will use in whatever it is they're using it for. And the way that helps with charging is that at the beginning of a project, after I have a good enough understanding of what the project is about, I will outline those steps. And for each step, I will give an estimated number of hours that it will take me to complete that. I then use an hourly rate to kind of figure out the cost of each of those steps. And that's how I come up with a project fee. And once that project fee is set, I don't really pay attention to hours. I just like to get to work. And I usually will charge half of that project fee up front and then half at the end after I have completed everything and delivered the deliverables. So no matter what stage you're at, it might be helpful for you to start thinking about what your process looks like and how you might go about handling freelance work if that's something that you're interested in doing. So So that's how I approach freelancing, which is stage 2 of learning in public, and the first time when you can actually start to make real money off of the skill that you're developing. Stage 3 is where you start to become more of a business yourself, where you use your skill to make some sort of a product. Maybe it's an educational product, a course or a book. Maybe it's something more in the realm of entertainment, a movie, a print, a t-shirt. But it's something that you make once, and as many people can buy it as those that find it and like it. Not a very clear way of saying that, but I think you get what I mean. You make a thing, and if that thing is good, if it's useful, if people like it, and if people know about it, if people have found it for whatever reason, then there's the opportunity to make money not on an hourly basis, but on the usefulness of the thing that you've made. And that's where the exponential returns on learning in public come into play. Because if you have been learning in public since day one, since you started learning and developing your skill, then as you go along through stage 1 while you're learning, through stage 2 while you're doing freelance work, then by the time you get to that point where you feel like you're ready to make your first product, there might be enough people that know about what you do, that like what you do and what you're about, and that might be willing to buy the thing that you make. So I'm gonna go get some food now and work on creating a blog post for this vlog series. I've decided that in addition to hosting these vlogs on YouTube, I'm going to start creating a blog post on learninpublic.com for each of these videos. You will be able to find that blog post by following the first link below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. And what I want to do there is just have a little bit more of a structured archive and be able to kind of more cleanly and easily share links and a little bit of a description and a recap of what this video is all about. From a strategy perspective, I'm also doing that because the more things that I have on my own site, the site that I own, learninpublic.com, and the more writing there is on that site, the easier it will be for people to find me. Search engines will have a better idea of what Learn in Public is all about. So, part of learning in public is about creating more and more pathways for people to find you online via whatever random path they find you. So I've got a little bit of catching up to do since I haven't done that for the previous 5 vlogs. Gonna try to get through all of them during this meal and a little out of office break. Not gonna vlog because I'm already a little bit bored with meal work montages, but I'll check in with you soon. I was able to get all 5 posts up. Take a look. And even though I'm lagging in energy a little bit this afternoon, I'm gonna try to push through and get 2 videos done. One for a freelance project that I'm working on and that I will be talking about in more detail soon. The other for Learn in Public. And this is not an uncommon challenge for me. I often have zero problem working hard from the moment I wake up till about noon, till lunch. You actually focusing? Focus. The problem comes after lunch. I'm a little bit drained of energy, I'm kind of tired. I often either want to take a nap or drink a lot of coffee, neither of which are particularly healthy solutions to the challenge that I face. Today I'm going to push through a little bit because there's often just a little bit of a hump again to get over, to start doing work again, and that once you get started in that creative task, it gives you the momentum needed to finish it. Because in addition to a little bit of low energy levels right now, I also have a little bit of a creative block for the next 2 things that I have to make. So it's the combination of that, not a full tank in terms of energy levels, combined with a little bit of creative resistance for the tasks that lie ahead. And it's the combination of those that is making me push through it. If it were just a super low energy tank, I would rest. But since there's also that creative block, I'm gonna push through it for today. Get a couple of videos recorded so that the rest of the day is on tasks that aren't so creatively demanding, that are more in the realm of editing as opposed to the realm of creating and shooting. You're doing a bad job of focusing today, aren't you? So I'm really glad that I pushed through that lagging energy, because once I started working, my feeling of tiredness went away. And what I realized is that in my mind, I had kind of already jumped ahead to a further stage in the process, that very similar process that I just described to you. And where my mind was is already thinking about the actual recording and making of the video, where I am currently still in more of an R&D phase, doing some initial research and brainstorming. So that's how I just spent the last hour, revisiting the material that I am sketching out, coming up with some ideas that I am now really excited about. What I am trying with these videos is something a little bit new. I'm bringing in other elements from the real world, so that instead of just sketching pen on paper, I have recognizable objects that I get to play around with and bring into the video as well. And for the two videos that I'm working on, the objects that I realize I'm gonna go need to pick up are 1, ping pong balls, quite a few of them, and 2, Lego people, and a lot of different varieties of Lego people. This is going to be a little bit of an experiment. I don't know if these videos are going to work out. If they do, I will definitely show you them. And even if they don't, I will let you know what I learned in the process. So I'm now running that errand. Gonna see if I can't find some ping pong balls and some Lego men. I think I'm ready to get a bike. Well, I could go with these, but I think I'll just go with these. All set.